Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to the Book Wormhole. We've made yet another trip around the sun, so you know what that means. It's time for my end of the year wrap up. This past year, I made science fiction the focus of this channel. I do still read books that aren't science fiction, but typically I won't cover them on this channel. I ended up making a Bookstagram account under the same name of the Book Wormhole, where I do talk about non-science fiction reads as well. I also discontinued monthly wrap-ups on this channel, which is something people have commented on missing, but I just don't enjoy doing that type of video anymore. However, I do monthly wrap-up posts on Instagram, so if you're one of those viewers who are missing the monthly wrap-ups, please check that out. I'll link it in the description below. So for this video, like I have done in the past few years for my end of the year wrap-ups, I'm gonna go over my goals from last year and if I met them or not, and then I'm gonna do different statistics of what I read, and then goals that I want to set for next year, and then I'm gonna end the video with my infamous slideshow of everything I read the past year. I don't know if anyone likes that, but I like it. So, did I meet my goals? So in my last year's video, I said I wanted to read 75 books. I was reading so much so fast that I ended up updating it to 100 books. I did meet my original goal, but I didn't meet my updated goal, unfortunately. I only read 87 books this year, which is still like super good and more than I read last year. I had the goal to read more classic/older books, which I trivially define as books published before 1990, just because I'm a 90s baby. And I read 21 books that were published before 1990. I wanted to read more translated works, which this one I didn't do so well with. I only read 3 books. Battle Royale by Koshon Takami, which was originally published in Japanese. RUR by Karel Capek, originally published in Czech. And The Love Songs of Sappho, originally written in Greek, so I'm counting that one as a translated work. Some goals that I didn't mention in last year's videos, but goals that I had in previous years that I did feel like I met this year were to read more nonfiction books. I ended up reading 10, which I'm really proud of. I wanted to read 12 Animorphs, as in 1 Animorph book per month. I ended up reading 14, and I'm actually like past the halfway point in the Animorph series. But this is only the main series. I'm not reading any of the spin-offs. I wanted to get better at DNFing books, which I felt like I did a really good job with this year and not so much in the past years. I DNF'd 6 books, and some of those were just like, oh, like I started reading them and I just wasn't feeling it, so I'm gonna put it aside and try to pick it up again when I'm in more of the mood to read that book. And now for my reading stats. By genre, I read 61 science fiction books, 8 fantasy, 7 fiction, 10 nonfiction, 3 poetry books, 2 historical, and 4 horror. By audience, I read 52 adults, 10 young adults, and 25 middle grade. By format, I read 35 physical books, 26 ebooks, and 26 audiobooks. And 13 of the books that I read this year were published in the year 2023. On average, I gave a rating of 3.94 stars. The longest book I read was Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro at 672 pages, but the longest science fiction book I read was Battle Royale by Koshon Takami at 624 pages. The shortest book I read was RUR by Karel Capek at 58 pages. The oldest book I read was The Love Songs of Sappho, written in 600 BC generally. And the oldest science fiction book I read was The Steam Man of the Prairie by Edward S. Ellis, published in 1868. The newest book I read was Womb City by Tlo Tomase, to be published in 2024. So as far as my reading goals go for next year, I do think I want to try the 100 books challenge again. I thought I would be more devastated to not meet my reading goal than I actually ended up being. But I really liked challenging myself this past year. I don't want to give a goal that is just like too easy for me to meet, because then it's not as exciting when I meet that goal. And as far as my other reading goals go, it's going to be more of the same. I definitely want to read more classic / older books. I want to be better about reading more translated works. That's definitely a goal I didn't quite meet this year. I do want to read more nonfiction, and I want to get closer to finishing the Animorph series, and probably progress more in the series I've started. I haven't really read many series this year. And I want to continue DNFing books. And the goal that I have for this channel that is somewhat reading related is like, I want to do more of a variety of videos again. I feel like this past year I really only did like one type of video, which is fine. I had fun doing it, but yeah, I actually wanna do like single book review videos, I think, for just like books that I read that I was really passionate about or just felt a certain way about, and kind of like dissecting the books like I would do in my wrap-up videos. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you met your goals of this past year, and what are some goals that you have for yourself reading wise next year. Maybe I'll copy you if I really like it. And I will leave you with my book slideshow. Remember to support your local library and shop independent when you can, and I will see you in the future.